K-Nation. Sponsored by K-State Superstore and 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Tonight on K-Nation, taking a tour of K-State football's new indoor practice facility. We'll tell you what the staff says it adds to their program.
Plus, an all-women production crew was behind one of KU's biggest games this week, how the athletics department is opening doors for women in sports.
And the stakes were high for basketball games all week long. A top 10 Sunflower Showdown and more Big 12 matchups. We're going to break it all down.
And that, of course, is where we are starting tonight. Welcome to K-Nation. I'm Lainey Gerber.
And I'm Glenn Kinley. If you're tuning in for the first time, thanks for watching. K-Nation is our 30-minute sports special airing every Sunday night, covering exclusively K-State and KU sports. We sometimes have a little fun.
Yeah, only a little bit.
It's
all business.
Well, we do have a lot to unpack, though. We start, of course, with the biggest game of the week that was played on Tuesday in Lawrence. Let's get right to it. I'm talking about the Sunflower Showdown Round 2. First go-around, K-State got the 1-point win in overtime. The students stormed the court. Keep that in mind. Jalen Wilson certainly did. And number 7 versus number 8 for this rematch. The game was played that way for the first 4 minutes. Then the Jayhawks began to take over. Kansas leads by as many as 16 in this one. For every K-State bucket, Kansas had an answer. In a rivalry that's been one-sided at times in the past, this one felt personal for the Jayhawks. It's a 90-78 KU victory. Jalen Wilson leads the way, 20 points, 8 rebounds, and he does his part to make sure there will be no Cats sweep.
That ended last game wasn't obviously the way we wanted it to go, and you know, it's kind of just like a big rub in our face, you know, them storming in and stuff like that. So I always remember stuff like that, of course, and you know, I just wanted to make sure today we got out to a great start, set the tone early, and you know, kind of controlled the game, and I feel like we did that for the most part. That's kind of the key to our success, you know, is starting off fast, you know, not having to play catch up throughout the entire game, and you know, I feel like when we control the game at our own pace, as far as the first half works, we're going to be in pretty good shape, you know, throughout the game. So I feel like that's a good key to do.
And Kansas was the ones controlling this game. K-State quick to point out that the Jayhawks sped them up, forced turnovers, and despite putting up 78 points, it wasn't the best offensive performance from the Wildcats, all on top of those 90 points from Kansas.
We got sped up and did some things that were uncharacteristic of us, but that was because of their defense. We left our feet a lot to throw passes. We had 10 turnovers in the first half. We only had 3 in the second. I thought we had a bunch of self-inflicted wounds. Part of it was the environment. Part of it might have been the scheme and how we were trying to attack them. And so we'll go back and look at it.
So the Sunflower showed on a split in the regular season this year, but I say regular season, Lainey, because we might see them again in the Big 12 tournament.
Imagine that.
Perhaps even in March Madness. I've said it before, maybe a national championship game, K-State, KU. I don't know if this...
Would the bracket work out that way?
It could.
Okay.
I don't know if the state of Kansas can handle it.
It's a little hot. I'm a little sweaty now,
no.
but if that happens, that would be very
Oh, my gosh.
sweaty.
I'm already nervous. I don't know if we can take it. You were at that game on the Sunflower Showdown on Tuesday, though. What stood out to you? Kansas, obviously, a really, really big answer after, and I think they may be a little upset after K-State got them last time.
Definitely, and they said that, and they looked near perfect. So as we get into this second half of the Big 12 schedule, if they just keep taking notes like they did from the first time they played a team, like how they showed how they took so many notes and took them to heart against K-State the first time, then they're going to finish strong.
Yeah, Bill Self, pretty good coach. You get him the first time, he's going to find a way to get back at him, perhaps. Now, the atmosphere was pretty good at that one. I think it's probably fair to say.
Yeah, Allen Fieldhouse gets pretty loud.
Yeah.
In case you don't remember.
Breaking news.
Yeah. And outside of the Sunflower Showdown win for KU, it was not a great week here at K-Nation. Kansas falls to Iowa State yesterday, and that one was pretty much all Cyclones all the way. KU took a 3-2 lead off a Jalen Wilson three-pointer, but never led again. It was the Iowa State defense leading the way. Jayhawks score their second least amount of points this season. Kansas makes a run out of halftime, cuts it to a 5-point game, but the Cyclones followed that with a 21-7 run. Jalen Wilson puts up an impressive 26 points and 9 rebounds. The rest of the team, not too hot.
We weren't very good early, middle, or late. I thought Iowa State defended us perfectly. They were much better in guarding the short roll ball screen defense and made an adjustment there. And I thought our defense was very lackluster and not a lot of energy at all. We did nothing to make them play bad. And they did some things to make us play bad.
Yeah, going from that near perfect game to this Iowa State game. That
That's
loss,
frustrating.
Yeah, that loss for KU marks 4 of the last 6 games that the Jayhawks just couldn't get into the win column. The good news is the Big 12 continues to just beat each other up.
Yeah.
With a 6-4 conference record, the team is still only 2 games back out of first place.
Yeah, a lot of teams tied for second right now. Well, speaking of Texas, who's in the Big 12 lead, the 10th-ranked Longhorns made the trek to Manhattan yesterday. New Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark, he was in the house.
Nice.
He seemed to be soaking in the environment. The game kept the fans on the edge of their seats. First meeting between these two, K-State put up 116. Not as much this time, but K-State still jumped out to as big as a 14-point lead in the first half. They're up by 11 at the midway point, but then Texas started to hit their shots. The Longhorns scored a lot in that second half. In fact, a 16-6 run in the second, and it was game on from there. Both teams trading buckets until the very end. Texas, though, makes one more big play on the day. They extend the lead with free throws. One last shot. The Wildcats, Ishmael won't go. Frustrating loss for the Cats. And Jerome Tang, he was likely the most frustrated we've seen him since he got the job at K-State.
I know normally I'm up here and, we talk about washing things. I don't want to wash this one, though. All right, I want us to live with this feeling for the next 48 hours because our fans deserve better than what I did as a head coach and what we did as a staff and what we did as players. We never want to lose at home, man, especially with the fans we have and the energy that they brought for us. And, when everybody does their job and you don't, that's not a good thing. And everybody in our arena did their job except for the coaches and the players on the floor. We didn't set the tone of the game. We let them set the tone of the second half.
Marquise Noel finishes with 10 points, 6 rebounds. He can't drain one from beyond the arc in this one. It's the first 2-game losing streak and also the first home loss of the season for K-State. Jerome Tang was shooting us pretty straight there. He was upset.
I've never seen him like that.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy.
It really
he
hits.
said that. He said, I'm usually up here and I'm all smiley. And he still said he was thankful for the opportunity. He still thanked God like he always does. But he was upset. I will say, I think K-State fans thought they held Texas to a season low, tied the season low 25 points in the first half. And they thought, what happened in the second half? We couldn't stop them. Well, Texas has a really, really, really good offense. So it wasn't all the K-State defense just falling apart. But obviously, you get a 14-point lead in the first half. At home, your coach isn't going to be happy if you don't pull that one.
Yeah, and Texas is ranked in the top 10. So
yeah. And Texas certainly in the driver's seat right now for those Big 12 standings. They're in first place. Everybody else a couple games back. So if K-State or KU want to win the Big 12, they're going to need Texas to drop a couple, and it could be Monday night in Allen Fieldhouse. Yeah,
K-State really showed that it's humanity in that game. Yeah. They've seemed like robots. They seemed so perfect all season, even in the close losses. So
nobody's
there
perfect.
It is.
Didn't Hannah Montana say that?
Hannah Montana said that, and we live by her.
All right, K-Nation, we love Hannah Montana.
Yeah, well, we were also at KU women's basketball's game against number 24 Texas for that
more
one.
Texas?
Yeah, and as we cross the halfway point in this conference schedule, KU is 4-5, but still has time to get well above 500. The Jayhawks start off strong in this one. They put together the first run. Then Texas answers with one. Then KU gets one. Then Texas, you know the deal. But Town and Jackson put up 6 straight to help the Jayhawks take a 34-28 lead at the half. The third quarter was the same deal, trading scoring runs. Again, KU led 53-48 going into the fourth quarter. And guess what? Fourth quarter, we're trading the lead again. But once Texas had it with 3.5 minutes left, it didn't let it go. Holly Kerskeeter drilled a 3 to pull KU within 2 with 10.7 seconds left, but a foul gave the Longhorns those final shots and the 68-65 win. Jackson and Zakiya Franklin did finish with a combined 41 points, though.
Wow. I'm getting tired of Texas.
I know, right? Get them out of here.
K-State women's basketball took on Texas Tech. I don't mind them as much.
Yeah.
Wildcat fans are everywhere, even in Lubbock. And check it out, Brett Yormark, he's also there. Maybe he's just a big Cats guy this weekend.
Yeah.
Serena Sundell starts things off. Get the ball to Sarah Shamatzi. Then Tech goes on an 11-5 run. K-State keeps it close for the rest of the first quarter, but the Red Raiders lead by as many as 11 in the second. K-State trails 38-28 at the half. Wildcats score first in the third quarter and even go on an 8-0 run to close that gap down to 3. But Tech slowly built that lead back up. The Red Raiders got 25 points off turnovers. That isn't going to work, helping them create an untouchable lead. Cats still put up a good fight. Serena Sundell, 27 points and 4 steals. Gabby Gregory, 16, and Briley Glenn added 12.
A lot of hard-fought games.
A lot
this
of losses
week.
for us, though.
I know.
We're fighting
not a
back
lot of
tears
wins.
here. All right, we're going to bounce back. All right?
Absolutely. That means next week
we got
has
to try
be
harder.
better.
We got to will them to victory.
I'm down.
All right, hey, don't go anywhere. We're just getting started here on K-Nation. Coming up after the break, some of our favorite athletes showed their NFL potential at the Senior Bowl. We'll check in on these Jayhawk and Wildcat alums who are showing out before the NFL draft.
But first, K-State has a new practice facility that's sure to help its players reach their full and potentially NFL potential. Why the team is so excited for this new multi-million-dollar addition.
Car wrecks don't just happen from 9 to 5. If you're in a wreck, we're available 24/7.
Don't wait until tomorrow to get the help you need now. In a wreck, need a check?
Patterson Legal is the way to go. Call 431-0000.
I love Topeka and the surrounding area. Are you looking to buy a home? Let me show you around. Give me a call. I'm eager to help and would love to talk to you.
We're here in Peru right now giving glasses and free eye care to people who need it the most. And really it's because of you, our awesome Success Vision customers. Every time you buy glasses at Success Vision, a portion goes to helping people all over the world. So from everybody here, thank you. I'm David, and I'm proud to be a Success Vision manager.
Prepare for 39 in an hour for less. Come see us today, Success Vision Express.
What makes best reviews the best reviews? They have an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on pretty much everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
So you can be confident that whatever you're buying is right for you, no matter what life throws at it. Like your daughter Clementine, for example. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Welcome to Jungle House, a shop for plant people. The Jungle House offers a range of in-store and at-home services to help your plants thrive. Not a green thumb? Don't sweat it. We're here to help. Jungle House, 924 Delaware Street, Lawrence.
Watch David George, weeknights on 27 News.
Car wrecks don't just happen from 9 to 5. If you're in a wreck, we're available 24/7.
Don't wait until tomorrow to get the help you need now. In a wreck, need a check?
Patterson Legal is the way to go. Call 431-0000.
Welcome back to K-Nation. If you've been to any K-State football, basketball, or volleyball games this year, you may have noticed a giant building that takes up a bunch of the parking spots on the east side of Bill Snyder Family Stadium, and you have to walk around it now.
Yeah, it's a big place.
Yeah.
And if you don't know by now, it's a brand new indoor football practice facility. $32 million, 130-yard football field. I think that's 30 more than your average field, Lainey.
Whoa.
I did the math in my head.
Some week coming up, we'll have to give you the full tour of the setup, and I call dibs because this place is nice, and I really want to walk through it. And you got to go this time.
I checked it out. Yeah, the full tour. We'll have to wait till Lainey can get over there, but K-State did open up the building to the public for the first time yesterday. It was a ribbon-cutting ceremony. Here's a look at the K-State Athletics' newest addition and some pretty important people and what they had to say about it.
If you take a look at what effective and productive college athletics can provide, it energizes a community. It engages alumni. It helps with student enrollment. And when you take a look at what a facility like this will do, it attracts the very best, whether it's student athletes, coaches, athletic director, and that leads to just a great athletic program. This is a game changer from a facilities perspective. The proof is in the pudding, and I think we've got an incredible athletics program right now. And I think people coming to see this facility today, they just look at you and say, what an incredible return on investment. We can't wait to see what the future brings.
It shows that they believe in us a lot to just do all this for us and continue to bless us no matter what the season is the outcome. But yeah, I feel like it boosts us as a team, our morale to just go out and win and put on a show for them. Man, it means the absolute world to us and my teammates. Really just to be blessed with all this, all the banners, all the guys who've done this before us, the alumni, the donors, the Big 12 commissioner, our athletic director. I mean, it's just a privilege to be in here. I mean, we're blessed in different ways. We have a pit where the injured guys can work out at. We have good areas to film, indoor facility with good AC. It's a blessing for real.
It's just a facility that's much needed, and it's really going to help us from so many angles. Obviously, just the ability to work out here in one space in one location close to the locker room. And then from a recruiting perspective, this building is phenomenal. Just another addition to many of the facilities, great facilities we have. We can't do these things without the wonderful donors that we've had. If you think of all the facility projects we've had, a lot of the same names keep coming up and keep coming up and keep donating. And that says a lot about who they are as individuals and how much they care about K-State. We're very, very fortunate to have them.
I really didn't know too much about K-State before I got here, but man, there's a lot of tradition, a lot of family. Everything here is called family. Every facility we have, so it really is what they say. It's really a family, and it's a close family full of blue-collar people that'll work hard and that'll believe in their faith and just continue to grind.
That's not the only milestone crossed this week. Up next, how KU is supporting women working in sports, so stick around for that story.
Jefferson's is the perfect spot to watch the game. Come try our new Loaded Macs, or pull up a seat at the bar and match our cold draft beer with our new Mac Burger. Find us at 29th and Wanamaker in Topeka or online at jeffersons.com.
In today's economy, what you pay for isn't always what you get. So let's talk home internet. For an everyday low price of only $49.99 per month, Cox gives you 100 meg download speeds. It includes panoramic Wi-Fi and no annual contract. And Cox Internet has more reliable download speeds than 5G home internet. For happy connections all around, get the real deal with Cox Internet.
Sports! We have everything
that you're looking for
at Play It Again Sports.
New and used sports and fitness equipment with used up to 50% off retail.
You can create your own discount by trading in and trading up. Sell us your gear and get cash on the spot, or even get store credit.
Play It Again Sports has something for every athlete. All seasons, all sports, on any budget. We're open every day in the Fairlawn Plaza Mall.
Game on!
Meaningful relationships built upon trust is a founding principle of the Trust Company. We help individuals and businesses create tailored financial plans and diversified investment strategies that adapt over time to your unique needs. Because we are independent, we can offer flexibility and creativity that many advisors and trust departments can't. If you aren't sure where to start or you're looking to make a fresh start, contact us today for a free consultation.
Jefferson's is the perfect spot to watch the game. Come try our new Loaded Macs, or pull up a seat at the bar and match our cold draft beer with our new Mac Burger. Find us at 29th and Wanamaker in Topeka or online at jeffersons.com.
Welcome back to K-Nation. Laney, a few days late, but I got to wish you a happy National Girls and Women's in Sports Day.
Oh, thank you. I want more wishes, too.
One of your favorite days of the year, right?
Of course. I still had to work, which didn't seem right, but
well,
I guess it's why I'm a woman in sports.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, earlier this week, we all observed National Girls and Women in Sports Day, and KU was a part of that.
Absolutely. K-Nation reporter Caroline Storer tells us about the Jayhawks all-female production crew.
National Girls and Women in Sports Day is a day meant to celebrate women at all levels of sport, whether that's on the court or the field, the sideline, on a production crew, you name it. And this weekend, KU is doing something extra special to honor women like these who are working hard behind the scenes.
Or any other differences. 3, 2, 1.
KU Athletics video department featured an all-female production crew for the women's basketball game against Texas.
No one ever thinks twice about an all-male crew for a sporting event. And so it's so exciting for us to have all women being able to support women's sports.
Not only were women supporting women in the booth, but they were there for the women on the court, too.
We're not only doing this work ourselves, but we're highlighting these women athletes. And they're inspiring, young women who are just starting their sport or maybe wanting to try it out. And so us being able to capture them in what they're doing, what they love, is awesome.
Rock Chalk Video has tried to do something similar in the past, but this was the year it all came together. The crew planned for weeks to make sure that women called the shots on Saturday.
The fact that we work hard to get all women in these positions shows you that that's not being done all the time. You have to be intentional about it.
The importance of participation in sport or any other curricular activity and having those opportunities does so much for a person's confidence and self-esteem.
historically, you know, it's been a very male-dominated industry. So for us to just step up, prove that we can do this and work hard, work well together, it's just an awesome opportunity.
I've had more than one experience of coming up to the truck, TV truck on a day, and someone says, I hear we have a female director, and they act like they're shocked that this could actually happen. So having a day where we're all women in there supporting each other, just fantastic.
The first one that just came to my mind was Beyonce, who run the world, girls.
Having an all-female crew isn't super common, but it puts women one step closer to making it the norm.
We've made a lot of progress in creating opportunities for young girls and for women, but the fight's not over.
Caroline Soro, K-Nation.
And our director for this show, Daria, is also a woman, so the women are getting it done in sports,
She
I'm
mentioned,
just saying.
She mentioned people being shocked they had a female director. I was like, we got a female director. She crushes it.
Yeah.
She's so much better than our producer.
And that's always a good quote. No one ever questions an all-male production crew. No one ever questions an all-male anything, but so the women can do it too.
Yeah, I just hope they don't decide to go all-female K-Nation co-hosts because...
I don't know, Glenn. You
Not
might
yet,
get
at least.
pushed out.
Not yet. All right, I got a few more minutes to prove myself. We're coming back after a quick break. Even when football season is over, it's not over, actually. We'll tell you how some of our favorite Wildcats and Jayhawks are doing in the Senior Bowl. That's straight ahead.
Come out to the biggest party in the heartland, the Country Stampede. Headliners include Hardy, Lee Rice, and Cody Johnson. July 13th through 15th. Tickets and camping on sale now at countrystampede.com.
Hi, this is Voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson. If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you will be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. For 24/7 non-judgmental support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Are you a super fan? K-State Superstore has the largest assortment of licensed K-State apparel and souvenirs waiting for you. And with our Superfan Rewards program, you'll enjoy even more. Fans can experience K-State Superstore at the stadium, online 24/7 at kstatesuperstore.com, and our new flagship location at 520 McCall Road. K-State Superstore, official retail partner of K-State Athletics.
Doughboys Pizzeria, now with 2 locations in Topeka. Serving fresh pizza with our signature sauce, award-winning wings, awesome appetizers and desserts. With outdoor dining and entertainment. Call or order online at doughboys.pizza.
Let's go! February 12th on Fox. Let's go! It's not how you begin,
You take advantage of the moment,
but how you finish.
dominate from the first snap to the last snap. Turn it up a notch.
Super Bowl 57, February 12th on Fox.
Come out to the biggest party in the heartland, the Country Stampede. Headliners include Hardy, Lee Rice, and Cody Johnson. July 13th through 15th. Tickets and camping on sale now at countrystampede.com.
Welcome back to K-Nation. Each year, Reese's, the Peanut Butter Cup, the best candy in the world.
Yes, we agree.
Oh, thank you. They host the Senior Bowl. A week-long practice leads up to a game meant to showcase senior college prospects looking to get their names out for the NFL.
A bunch of big names have always made their way through. That includes KU's John Riggins and K-State's Jordan Nelson, Tyler Lockett. Those are some guys who have shown out in this Senior Bowl, and the Jayhawks and Wildcats each had a player really step up this year. So for K-State, it was defensive back Julius Brents that made waves at practice. Plenty of tweets came in sharing how much Brent's impressed in man coverage. We know quarterback may be the most important position, but good one-on-one man coverage, that's tough to come by.
Oh, yeah.
Brent's picked up an interception in pass drills, even had a Buccaneers website compare him to all 2010 NFL member Richard Sherman. That's quite the praise.
Not a bad guy to be compared to.
And safe to say the Senior Bowl, well, worked out all right for Julius.
Okay. And from Kansas, it was edge rusher Lonnie Phelps. He really took Twitter by storm through practice and the final game. In the game, he caused a fumble early. Then his pass rush caused the quarterback to throw an interception. And one-on-one drills, Phelps went nearly untouched at times with spin moves, Euro steps, and end arounds. Best guy doing basketball moves on the football field, maybe.
Love to see it.
Plenty of tweets saying Phelps is one of the biggest winners of the week, bumping up his draft stock. And Some Chiefs saying if Phelps is still on the board in the 4th round, maybe he should end up in Kansas City.
He might not mind that. He just has to go about 30, 45 minutes down the road from Lawrence.
Exactly, and just end up in Arizona. And
I also saw some Chiefs fans saying that there's a running back from Manhattan they might like to take.
Whoa.
Deuce Vaughn?
Oh,
Lonnie
I wasn't going to
Phelps?
guess him. Crazy.
All right. Hey, still some big performances right here this week. In fact, we got to do Plays of the Week.
It's time for Plays of the Week. For KU, it is Chandler Prater's athleticism here. Gets the ball at the wing, takes it into the lane, spin move and score while she's coming off the spin.
I love it.
Smile on her face right after says it all. Here it is again in slow-mo for you, but the speed really is part of what makes this play so great. It helped KU hold a small lead against number 24 Texas for a while and get that lead at the half.
She even knew that one was sweet.
Yeah.
She impressed herself. Hey, for K-State, their defense was incredible in the first half, not as good in the second half, except for on this play it was. Desi Sills, the lockdown defense. Guy tries to drive on him. He's stopping it. Traveling call. Desi lets him know he just locked him up. You can check out the celebration here. K-State needs some more of that defense as they close out Big 12 play.
Absolutely.
All right, stick around. More K-Nation comes your way right after a break. Don't go anywhere.
It's time to update your kitchen with Countercraft. Bring your ideas and your measurements or we can measure for you. We have quartz, granite, and quartzite on site to choose from. Let our team show you how easy the process is from start to finish. Countercraft is where craftsmanship matters.
Hear that? Each edge of your seat.
He blows the body off the car.
Entertainment at top speed. Camping World NHRA races where top drivers compete to be the best. But don't blink.
And who's got the horsepower? It is going to be Justin Ashley. A dazzling top fuel final.
You could miss it. It's the Menards NHRA Nationals presented by Pet Armor. August 11th through 13th at Heartland Motorsports Park in Topeka. Every ticket's a pit pass and kids 12 and under are free. Get tickets early and save at NHRA.com.
Golden Corral on Southwest Wanamaker Road has been locally owned since 1999. Come join us in our newly remodeled dining room with updated decor, a stone fireplace, and an enhanced buffet area. Breakfast served Saturdays and Sundays. Pickup orders and catering available. Golden Corral in Topeka is looking for great service-minded people to fill positions with advancement opportunities. Serious applicants can walk in to complete an application.
Come on in and join us
at Golden Corral.
It was great to be able to sit down with the folks at Fidelity and talk about options. And not only to hear choices, but to get a little bit of advice and help in making good choices ourselves was something that we were just really unfamiliar with. And that kind of help is invaluable.
Fidelity Bank, we do business right here at home.
Welcome to Jungle House, a shop for plant people. The Jungle House offers a range of in-store and at-home services to help your plants thrive. Not a green thumb? Don't sweat it. We're here to help. Jungle House, 924 Delaware Street, Lawrence.
Welcome back to K-Nation. I told the people we have a little fun on this show.
Yeah, there we go. You've been lifting more, Glenn.
It was a little heavier than you thought?
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll go with lifting, not because I put on any bad weight. All right, hey, we got some updated betting lines for you, though, this week. We have spreads to show you for KU since they play Texas tomorrow. Number 8 versus number 10. The Jayhawks are favored by 3.5 at home. That means they need to win by 4 to cover that spread, and no line for K-State yet.
Yeah, no line, like you said. They're hosting number 15 TCU on Tuesday, but we have Big 12 title odds, KU at plus 450. That's $10 to win 45, and K-State, after back-to-back losses, is up to plus 1,600.
Wow.
That's $10 to win 160.
Wow, they took a big jump, just 2 losses.
For those of us who aren't doubting the Cats so much, that might be a good spot to
I know,
take. But you
right?
can't remember your DraftKings login, so.
I gotta figure that out. Luckily, we're out of time.
Thank God.
All right, thanks for watching K-Nation.
Make plans to join us next Sunday and every Sunday.
When we play like we did today, for the most part, there's not really any teams that can stay with us.
I hope that we can bring that kind of competitiveness every time we're out on the court.
We need a full 5 on the court that's all looking to attack and score. And even if it's not scoring, just being aggressive, getting downhill.